Good morning, gang. It's Wednesday, the 25th of July, 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom tour. Oh, we're not fading very well, are we? That's clipping instead of fading. How do I do that? Just a moment, please. One moment, please, while we try and connect you. Oh, let's try that. Let's try. Fade. Fade, fade, fade. No. Is that not happening now? Fade. Fade. That's better, isn't it? Now let's go back to that. And with that fade and fade. That's better. We like a fade rather than a cut. I think it's a little bit rude to have a sudden cut like that. Now, I've got the other little phone with me this morning. Okay, so we're up in Lincolnshire again. And you should be able to text in. Someone try that out if you would. There's a text in number as well. So if you're watching from somewhere where you can't use... Where am I going to put this? It's all in bits and pieces this morning. I'll put that there, and then if anyone wants to text in, I've got this set up for Maureen. That's the reason why that mobile phone's there. So if you're watching or listening by a different method where you can't get to a computer, you can always text in the show, gang. It's 07551 259 675. All right, 07551 259 675. So what about that weather yesterday? Oh my lord, oh my lord. I don't think I've ever been in somewhere that was as hot as it was yesterday. I left work Monday night around about 10 past 11 at night, and I left. We do a karaoke at Central Station on Monday. I left there at 10 past 11. I exited the pub and I got in the car, turned on the engine, or pushed the button. Modern cars have buttons, dear. Buttons to turn. No key. How do they do that? Isn't that marvellous? You push the button, the car bursts into life, and the temperature comes up in front of you. And at 10 past 11 on Monday night, it was 25 degrees. So that's nearly 80. I think it's around about 80 Fahrenheit, something like that on Monday night. As I say, left there at 11:15. Nice drive up. I got a bit tired, I must say. The route I took, and it takes me a different route, the sat-nav, wherever I'm going, it'll always take you the route that it deems that is the fastest. And on Monday night, I went up, first of all, on the M11, then on the A1M mainly, and then on the side roads there. And I must say, on the A1M, after about hour and a half, hour and three-quarters, I did start getting a little bit tired. But I think it's because you're on, like, one long road. Do you know what I mean? Once I'd come off of that and gone on some smaller roads, I kind of woke up again. So that was all right. Journey up here is fine on a Monday night. Walked into the caravan around about 1:45, so just after 2.5 hours. And that's not going madly fast. I don't do like 100 or 90 mile an hour or anything like that. It's going at a sort of reasonably normal speed, I suppose. Got in, I thought I'd have some dinner. Now, the cooker in a caravan, I've got to tell you, the oven and the grill are slower. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's have a look here. Let's just do a couple of messages there. I'll just say, Claire says I was the first. Oh, I see. Claire's first in with a message on YouTube. Good morning, Claire. The oven and the grill, the cooker part of it seems as normal. It takes just as quick to cook on the top of the cooker. And it's a gas thing. We've got bottles of gas by the side of the caravan. But the oven and the grill do take a bit longer. Certainly the oven, I would say, takes about another third to another half longer than it does normally. So usually when I get into work, when I get in from work, I have something to eat, which generally consists of smash, you know, the dried potato, and I only buy the smash one. And the reason for that is the smash one has only got in it dried up potato and a bit of salt. There's nothing else in there. Now, you go to some of the supermarket own brands, be careful, because a lot of it's got cream and stuff like that in it, and dairy. My niece is off dairy at the moment. And there's a lot of that in these supermarket own brands. Stick to the smash one, which of course is the most expensive one. It would be, wouldn't it? And that's only got dried potato in it. But that's what I generally have, is some of that when I get in. Maybe some vegetables or baked beans. If I have vegetables, I do a bit of gravy with it, and Quorn steaks or Quorn burgers. Now, to do the Quorn burgers, you put them under the grill. Don't take too long. except in a caravan. And they do take a little bit longer. And I'm not sure that they were fully cooked by the time I ate them. But you put this thing under there and it's a bit of a pathetic flame. I mean, they get done eventually. It just takes a little bit longer in a caravan oven. So I done those, and then I went to bed. And I didn't wake up yesterday till about 9 o'clock in the morning, which is unusual for me. I think it might be the drive tiring me out. So that was Tuesday morning. Woke up about 9 o'clock. Didn't have time for a show, unfortunately. Got up. My nephew came round, Gary. Had a bit of a chat with him. He's been doing some work along with my brother-in-law. They've painted the like veranda fence thing and putting an air conditioning unit in the bedroom, which is, just marvellous, I tell you, especially in this weather. Although I didn't think it was working yesterday. I'll come to that in a bit. He came round, and then my sister came round with my niece and baby James. Baby James made a visit to the caravan. We were, what's the word? No, the word's gone. We were pleased that, what's the word? We were, like when the Queen visits you, you feel, what's the word? Oh, God. I mean, if it would be like me visiting your house. You know, how exciting would that be for you? For me to just turn up, you would be... what's the word? Oh, I can't remember what the word is. See if you can tell me what the word is. Let's just do some of your messages this morning. Good morning to John Cannon. Good morning, John. Hope you're well, sir. Andrew Charles is watching in Spain. I'm sure it's not as hot there as it is here. Actually, it is, isn't it, in Spain? We're getting your very hot air. Morning. Good morning, Adam the plumber. Hayley's there. Good morning, Hayley. You lovely thing. Hope you're well. Hello to Rob Bailey. Divan Amat, watching on one of the Learn English groups. Welcome to you, sir. Rob Bailey. Hello, Rob. Young Rob there. Ray Reynolds, international, was there. I was chatting to Ray on the phone last night. Good morning, Ray. He's been to Southend, Ray, yesterday. Went to Southend yesterday. He said he was in the fish and chip shops and the sweat was just dripping off him yesterday. Did you have ice cream as well, Ray? I'm sure you did. Julian Clark, good morning, Julian. Hello, Russ Philip Vernon, good morning. Good morning, Mark, who says, Chris got the hump, no sleep. Oh, well, yeah, I know, Mark. You must have a fan. Get a fan on. Just leave it on all night long. Not on your neck. Whatever you do, if you've got a fan on while you're in bed, don't have it pointed at your neck because you'll wake up and you won't be able to move your head. Honestly. But you could leave a fan on all night. It's not going to cost much. Probably about 50 pence. Not even that on the fan. Just leave it on all night, mate, and point it towards your back or you know, if you've got a little bum, you can have your bum sticking out of the bed and have the fan pointed to that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, eh? Hello, Andrew Charles. Please say good morning to my buddy, Jamie Breen. Good morning, Jamie, who's just started podcasting, have you? Oh, well, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. It takes a while to get going, but just do it. If that's something you want to do, just do it. Just do it. Welcome to the show, Jamie. It's Breen. Did you say Breen? Breen. He's put there Breen. That is not Breen. I think you might have done that. Is that the old spell checker working? Good morning, Colin. Glad you had a nice weekend there. Brennan. Thank you, Brennan. Got it wrong twice there. Thank you, Brennan. I know what you mean by the spell checker. I've got an old laptop next to me here. I mean, it's Vista. It's Windows Vista. They don't even do the updates to that anymore, do they? Windows Vista, and it's a bit slow. I got a couple of news stuff. I could use that as the news stories rather than chucking it away there. Honoured. Thank you very much, Ray Reynolds. Honoured. Honoured. I was honoured to be in the presence of baby James yesterday, who came around with my niece. It's her son. And my sister. And baby James managed to eat a pear. Eat a pear and put small pieces of pear all around the caravan. Oh, I had so much fun picking up those small pieces of pear and complaining to my sister. And there was baby juice. Why do babies leave baby juice all over the place? Baby juice on the leather settee. Incidentally, if you are an animal lover, I've got to tell you, I wouldn't buy a leather settee. I've never... Well, yes, I did. When I was I hate to say this, but... Oh, here comes the planes. I hate to say this. I used to eat dead animals. I mean, it's a long time ago, so it must be about 5 years ago now. I used to eat dead animals. Not anymore. I wouldn't buy a leather sofa, but it was here when I bought the Caravan. Okay, I just want to point that out. And there was baby juice all over the settee the other day. I had to keep getting out little bits of tissue and mopping it up. And pear, pieces of pear. And then I thought it was going to get even worse when baby James was given a chocolate bourbon biscuit. But my niece quickly grabbed it back and said, quickly, we'll eat that outside because I think Uncle Chris will have a heart attack, which would have happened. Oh my God, the crumbs. Ants, dear, ants. There would be ants. We got ants down at the Corpus Christi in Wokingham at the moment in the church. We had this in the newsletter in church on Sunday. Please don't eat food in the church. Who comes in the church and eats food? Who's coming in at mass time and eating sandwiches and crisps while we're trying to listen to the priest do his stories? It's outrageous. Please don't eat food in church. Perhaps I could have a newsletter for my Caravan, which I could give out to people as they come in. Please don't eat chocolate bourbon biscuits due to the possibility of ants, dear. So it was nice to see baby James yesterday. I think he's all right in the heat, actually. He's got this little hat on. And now and again, I do get a smile. But now and if his mum disappears, or his nan, which is my sister, he does start crying. He's all right with me for about 10 seconds until he realised one of them's missing and then he can't cope. He goes into stress mode. Baby James. Perhaps we can get him here live on the programme, hopefully without holding a pear or a bag of crisps or a biscuit. He's got a dairy intolerance, Baby James. Thank you. Honoured. We were honoured for a visit from Baby James yesterday. Hello to Badger. Morning. Jimmy Butler International. Good morning, Jimmy. Jimmy's working. He has a unit where he repairs cars, fixing, dents and scratches and things like that. The unit is metal. I don't know how he's working in that. He was saying, because he paints panels and all that, he says it's so hot that the paint is drying too quickly and it's making the job harder. Unbelievable. Morning to Doru Dorian. Good morning, Doru. Welcome to the show, Doru. Is it Doru? Doru. I think I said that. Doru. I want to get your names right. I try to get the names right. Sometimes we have people watching from Arabian countries, like Iran or somewhere like that, and the name is just like in their, what do you call it, an alphabet? In their writing, and it's just squiggles, and I'm unable to say that. I'm sorry. So if you are from one of those other countries and you want a little shout out, just if you could write your name with normal letters, I say normal letters, with English letters, and then I'll be able to say it for you, okay? Unannounced. No, that wasn't the word, Hayley, but a good try. I'll give you 5 points for trying there, Hayley, all right? Mark says, I like that one. Definitely going to get a fan. Yeah, get yourself a fan. £10 probably for a fan, Mark. If you've got £10 laying around somewhere, point it at you, but not at your neck. Do not point the fan at your neck. You'll be like that all day, like the hunchback of. You could be the hunchback of King's Cross, couldn't you? Walking around like that all the time. Morning, SOS Gregorian. You must be used to this weather in Armenia. Is it hot weather in Armenia usually? Hello to Angela Walters, who's in Yarrawonga in Australia. I do believe I've been to that train station. Yarrawonga. They've got some fabulous names of places in Australia, as well as some that you'd recognise. Newcastle. They have a Newcastle in Australia. Yes. Oh, it's better than ours. Oh, dreadful. Have you been to Newcastle? Ghastly people, dear. Ghastly. Walking about, they can't even talk properly. Who is that? Cheryl Cole. She comes on the X Factor. What is she saying? I have to put the subtitles on. Can't understand a word she's saying. Has she got married again yet? It's only been 3 times now, hasn't it? Poor little Liam Payne. I think you had a lucky escape there, mate. Oh dear. Hello to Gary Butler International. Good morning, Gary. And Dave Tompkins is there as well. Over on YouTube, we got Claire there. Good morning, Claire. Joanna's there. Good morning, Joanna. She says, can I have a caravan break? There's no prizes, Claire. I keep telling you. No prizes whatsoever, darling, okay? Have you got insurance? They are talking about flooding in the East Midlands at the weekend. Oh, my God. I'm right next to a river. But it's okay. I won't be at the weekend. So if there is a flood, the caravan will just float off on its own, not with me, and I'll be able to continue talking to you from Royal Berkshire. All right? Claire says you are right by a river. Dangerous after a long dry spell if you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. The river there, I think, hasn't flooded. I don't know if it hasn't flooded for years or it hasn't flooded, one or the other, you know. Paul says, I can see Chris back in Hotel Baghdad. Yeah, Hotel Baghdad. With new clock, notice the mirror has gone. The mirror has gone, and the reason the mirror has gone is because two of you delightful people took it upon yourselves to let me know that the mirror behind me was showing up my bald spot. So that has now been removed. I can still show it to you. Hang on a minute. Here is the mirror. Who wants this mirror? Anyone? Actually, I'll put it up somewhere. It's a nice mirror. Look, perhaps you can see my bald. There it is. It's not too bad today, is it? I think what's happened there. Can you see that? You can just see that. It's not too bad today. I think what's happened is that the sun has made my head browner because I've gone ever so brown. The sun has made my head go browner, and it's browned. It looks like it's not as bad as it usually is because we don't like to be white and pasty. I'd be quite happy to be black or brown or other colour other than white because we do look pasty, white people, don't we? We look pasty and unwell. I went to Boston the other day. There was a lot of sick-looking people walking around there, dear. Angela Waters, they have fudge in Yarrawonga. Do they really? I know you said that about 3 months ago. I remember when we did the fudge. We did a fudge special, didn't we, Angela? We certainly did. Anyway, so my sister came over there and we went shopping yesterday. We jumped in the car and we went to Boston. I had, for the first time, a child car seat was supplied in my car. So that was quite nice. Drove to Boston, parked in this car park. It's like £1 for 2 hours. I mean, you don't get that in London, dear. It's in London. Isn't it like 30p for like 10 minutes or something like that? It's £1 for 2 hours in the car park in Boston. I kid you not. So we went there. Some very a lot of shops there. Really not good shops actually. All different, you know, cheap shops. And then they've got like a Bentals type place called Aldwych or Orchards. Orchards. I can't remember what it's like now. Orchards, something like that, and that's like a department store. Got all good stuff in there, and they got the Poundland as well, and that sort of place. Some very strange people walking around there, I have to say, in Boston. All sorts of different coloured hairs and things like that. Now, my niece is a hairdresser, and she's got her own saloon in Woodhall Spa here in Lincolnshire. And she was saying how people come in and a lot of people now have different. They have colour put in their hair, not just a slight colour. You know, for example, my hair is very short. If I let it grow long, you'd see bits of grey in there. You know, we're not talking about making the hair the same colour. No, they have bright blue, bright green. One of the bar staff in Central Station, Ewan is his name. He's got bright green hair. This seems to be the new thing, different coloured hair, and there's a lot of people walking around Boston with bright colours in their hair. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, colours of the rainbow. Red and yellow and green and blue, purple and orange and all that business. It's nice. It's nice to have different coloured hair. And my niece was saying that there was someone, I think this is the story, there was someone who came into her salon and she was going to have a baby. And she said, I don't know what colour to have my hair because I don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl yet. And my niece said to her, joking to her, why don't you have, I think she said blue and pink. Why don't you have half of each colour, a blue and a pink or a red, one of the two? And the customer said, do you know, that's a really good idea. And she had it. So she's had half of her hair in blue and the other half in pink or red. How strange and mysterious is that? Possibly not as strange and mysterious as you this morning, but there we are. So that was that. Aldwych, as I say, is a bit like Bentals. Not as good as John Lewis. Perhaps on the same sort of scale as House of Fraser. There's only one of those shops, and that's in Boston. We had something to eat there, which was quite nice. I had this vegetable thing with some chips. My niece is dairy. She can't have dairy at the moment because, like I was saying, Baby James and the Pear. That could be a book, couldn't it? Baby James and the bits of pear all over Chris Reardon's caravan. Baby James, he's dairy intolerant at the moment. I think it's something they grow out of eventually. He's just over a year old. So my niece, she still does the breastfeeding. So she can't have dairy at the moment because I think it transfers through her breast and into his mouth, you see. So she can't have dairy at the moment. So she has to be very careful with what she's eating. So we had lunch in there. So that was nice. And then we went, what did I buy? Oh, I bought a new electric toothbrush. I did buy an electric toothbrush for the caravan from Sainsbury's a couple of weeks ago up in Bracknell, or down in Bracknell. And it was 15 quid. And honestly, it's pathetic. It's pathetic, you know, and I'm like, I can't even feel the bristles. Probably a better thing for me, because the dentist told me I'm brushing my teeth too hard. He never finds plaque on there, just a little bit, you know, but my teeth are very clean, never need fill-ins, not since I stopped going to the private one anyway. But with this brush, it's very soft, and probably it's better for me. But it doesn't feel like it's brushed my teeth, because I've got an Oral-B thing at home, like a 3D one. What, as well as going like that, it goes like that and that. So I thought I'll get another one of those. So I bought that, and I spent half my money on an electric toothbrush. It was half price actually, 25 quid. But then they get you with the little brush heads, don't they? The little brush heads are like 12 quid for 4 or something like that. So I bought one of those, and then we went to Lidl. There's a brand new Lidl in Boston, so that's quite nice. And it's all clean and sparkly and nice. The only thing with these little and Aldi stores, they've got barely any staff. I don't know how they work like dogs. They really do. They really work like dogs in there. So we went to Lidl. Unfortunately, I was tempted by the ice cream in there, and I bought this thing of, I shouldn't be eating ice cream. I bought this thing of ice cream, and then I find those like ice cream sandwich things. They're like two, like almost like, they're not chocolate like biscuits with chocolate, like cocoa biscuits. So like a digestive biscuit, but it tastes of chocolate. It's not a layer of chocolate on, and some ice cream in the middle like that. And there's 4 in a box. So I got those, and we paid at the till. Got back out to the car, and my sister, she shouldn't be eating these either at the moment, because my sister's on a diet as well. She's on a no carbs diet. No carbs diet. I'm on Slimming World. Completely different thing altogether. So I opened it, and I thought, no, these are going to go soft by the time we get back, because it was so hot yesterday. So hot. So I had one, and I said, go on, have one. She said, so she had that one. I said, well, there's only 2 more in here. So we then had the other one each. But I didn't have 4. I only had 2. I only had 2. Drove back to the car, got back into the caravan. I suppose it's probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. And I came straight in. Oh my God, the caravan was so hot. It was so hot. Now I've got a thermometer. I bought a thermometer down with me. And the thermometer, as we walked in, was reading 98 Fahrenheit, which is about 28 centigrade, something like that. So I opened all the doors and the windows, went into my bedroom, and turned on my new portable air conditioning thing in the corner. Closed the door. I left the windows open for a little while to let the heat out. Then I closed the window, closed the door, and left the air conditioning pumping on full blast in my bedroom. We all came in here. We had a cup of tea, which was nice. I put the frozen stuff away. And they left after about 30, 45 minutes, something like that. At which point I thought, well, I'll go and have a sleep now. So I went into the bedroom. I suppose it was about 5:15, something like that. And I walked in and I closed the door, and I thought, well, it's a bit cooler in here, but nowhere near as cool as I thought it would be. And I thought, oh, maybe this thing isn't working properly. I must admit, I had it on Monday night. I got here Monday night. I rarely put the air conditioning on a Monday night at home. But it was ever so hot Monday night, so I did put it on Monday night here, and it was okay. It seemed to be working all right. But I thought, oh, it's not working. Anyway, I managed to get to sleep. I laid, and I want you to just close your eyes now, boys and girls. Close your eyes, and just imagine me laying on the bed completely naked. Yeah, that's doing it for you, isn't it? Isn't it? That's doing it for you, isn't it? So I laid on the bed completely naked, and I managed to get off. to sleep. I managed to get off to sleep, and I woke up after about an hour and 20 minutes or so. And I thought, you know what, I'm still quite warm in here. And I'd brought the thermometer into the bedroom. Okay. And I looked at the thermometer, and it was about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm really sorry, I can't remember what. I'll try and do centigrade. I know most of you are centigrade now. Oh, I could go. Oh, I can't move, can I? Because I'm attached by this wire. It's too far away now. I'll try and do centigrade for you tomorrow, but it was about 78 Fahrenheit. I thought, well, this can't be working. This air thing can't be working. I put my hand in front of the air thing, and it's pumping out cold air. Anyway, so well, I thought I better get up now because I want to go and visit my nephew later. So it's now about 7 o'clock now. So I opened the bedroom door, and I was hit by this wall of heat. And I took the thermometer with me, and sure enough, it is working. It just can't cope. It's so hot in here that it is making a difference of about 15 degrees, because I think I came back out here and it was nearly 90 degrees in the rest of the caravan. 90, not quite as hot as the afternoon, but still it was about 92 degrees. So 92 degrees in the caravan, 78 in my bedroom. So it was indeed working. But that's just how it is. I don't know if you've got an air conditioning unit at home or indeed at work, and how well it's working, really. And these things tend to break down in the middle of the summer, don't they? It's the only time you really use them. You're not going to have the damn thing on in the winter, are you? It remains to be seen, I mean, how cold, if it does get very cold in the winter, but we'll have to see about that. So that was the air conditioning. I had some dinner. I changed a bulb outside. I've changed all my bulbs in here because they weren't LEDs. Very important to have LED bulbs, boys and girls. Save the money on the electric. Yes, LED bulbs. I changed one of the bulbs outside. There is another bulb outside, and which, when you turn it on, all the electric cuts off. So I must find out what's wrong with that. There's actually 2 wires going to this particular lamp. I know there's one wire in here on a plug, which you literally plug in, and the bulb's supposed to come on outside. And that goes to a switch, which then goes to the bulb. But there's another wire that comes out of it. So my guess is that other wire isn't going anywhere or is shorted out somewhere. So I'll disconnect that, I think, and then try it and see if it works. But if the electric just flips out, you unplug it and then flip the switch and it comes back on again. Watched Holby City, which was quite good. I enjoyed Holby City last night, and the 2 gays are going to get married in there. It's Dom and Lofty. Looks like they're going to get married on Holby City. Jack Naylor's not doing too well. We think she's all right, but the bloke who's looking after Jack Naylor, who did the operation, is a bit concerned. So there's a story developing there. I love it. Holby City and Casualty, those 2 programs. Then it said, what's that program? You know, the girl who's the soldier, and she goes abroad. The girl who's a soldier on BBC One Tuesday nights was the last one last night, but I didn't watch it because I wanted to go and visit my nephew. Now, I've got on my mobile phone, which is out there, I've got Netflix and iPlayer on that, but the television I've got here is a bit old hat. There's no internet on that telly. It's not a smart telly at all. It's quite an old telly. Works perfectly well, but it doesn't have any of those facilities on it. Now, I've got Netflix and iPlayer on my mobile phone, and I've got a HDMI thing on the telly. Can you buy a lead, I wonder, that you would plug into the bottom of your mobile phone and into the HDMI thing on your telly so that you can watch what's on your phone on the telly? Does anyone know that and what it would be called? Would Google Chrome do that? Or does that only work with an Android phone? I want to be able to stream my Netflix onto the telly from the mobile phone. Anyone know how I would do that? Okay. So I left just after Holby City. I went to empty my bin. The recycling bin, because they do recycling here. I got into the yard. Every bin is absolutely chock-a-block. And I thought, I can't find anywhere to put this stuff. Literally, I had to, all the lids are like that. They are absolutely full of stuff. And the reason for that is because Sylvie, who she owns the site here, she was telling me that the Boston Council come along. Oh, you've got something wrong in there. We're not taking it. Or the lid's not closed, so we can't empty your bins. And they left last week's rubbish here. I mean, it's unbelievable. What are you supposed to do with the damn stuff? Anyway, I managed to get it in on the top there, just about, but the lid won't close. Well, the lid wasn't closed anyway. So they're supposed to come this morning, I gather, the rubbish people. And all the rubbish for the whole site goes in a yard. And they've got several large, I don't know what they're called. Are they paladins? No, paladins are in great big bins, you know, like 10 times the size of your bin at home. And you put your stuff in. There's recycling one and there's a non-recycling one. So I left that there, and then I went to my nephew's and we watched some television and had a cup of tea there, and that was nice. I spoke to Ray Reynolds on the phone, who was telling me about his day out in Southend. We were sweating in the fish and chip shop there. And we watched this programme about drugs, actually. It was on Channel 5 at Sex and Drugs, but it was more like drugs than sex, to be honest. It was about these ladies. I think were they all ladies? They were all ladies who were prostitutes, and how that they were all on drugs and all that, and they did the prostitution to pay for the drugs, and they took the drugs so that they could do the prostitution and not think about it too much. And they're like on this vicious circle. And I have come across people on drugs on many, many occasions. But there was one lady, and I just felt so sorry for her. I really did. Her face was just covered in spots, which were clearly due to the drugs. And they showed a clip of her taking these drugs. Now, what did she didn't? I don't think she was injecting them. I think she was smoking them. She had this little glass. Let me try and remember. Or was it a roll-up cigarette? Because I saw some people in there, they had these glass things, what they have like a little burner under, and they were smoking them like that. And I think someone else was putting them like in a roll-up cigarette. Anyway, she smoked these drugs. And then she was just everywhere. Now, I'm not taking the mick. I don't think I just felt so sorry for her. And the fact that I think when people are on drugs like that, you can't help them unless they want to, unless they ask for help. And then how you get them off them, I do not know. I mean, I know the heroin, that was it. They were heroin. It was heroin. And I was talking to my nephew's wife about this, Stacey, and apparently they try it from the heroin to give them something else, methadone or something like that. But in my mind, isn't that just substituting one thing for another? I mean, how does that help? I don't know. But this lady was all over the place. Literally, like, she'd go on the chair and, hello, I'm going bonkers, I am. And of course, I think, if I remember her story, her husband had died a few years ago, and that's what set her off down this path. And it was incredibly sad. Not something you can sit there and laugh at. Oh, look at those stupid people over there on drugs. That didn't go through my mind once. I just felt incredibly sorry for these people. And she was the worst one on there, and she there with her mate. Of course, I think they do it in mates, and then they all do this stuff together. And she does, as I say, she does. And they interviewed her when she wasn't too bad, you know, off her face on this stuff. And she was saying she does the prostitution to pay for the drugs because she couldn't shoplift. She could never shoplift or steal from anyone. And there were some other things. She can't get a job. She wouldn't shoplift. So that's why she does the prostitution, to pay for the drugs, so that she can do the prostitution without her head knowing what she's really doing, to pay for. And she's like on this circle. And I mean, I don't know how many years you can survive on that. Just awful. Let's just do some of your messages here. Good morning to Jerry Cashmore Smith, who's in Brighton this morning. Is it a bit cooler down by the coast? Do you get like a little bit of a breeze off the sea there? At least you can jump in it there. Good morning, Mark Jones, who's in Scarborough. Where are you going to? Scarborough Fair. I've been there. Nice place. Lovely beach in Scarborough. Great big long beach. I think the beach, if you're going sort of away from Scarborough town, the beach is on the, you go around this corner, the beach is on the right, and on the left, and the houses are like up the hill. And that must be worth an absolute fortune, Scarborough. Good morning. Morning to Renee. Morning. Who's in the States, Pennsylvania, 6500. Good morning, Renee. John Aitken, who says, who do you think you are with Boy George? Is on BBC One Colour tonight at 9 o'clock. Looking forward to seeing that. Oh, I haven't seen that. Who do you think that? I don't know what that is. Alan says, a HDMI lead. Yeah, it's, Gary Butler. Cable about £10. Have you got one, Gary? Where can I get one of those from? Can I get one in town, perhaps? Thank you, John. The programme about the girl soldier is called Our Girl. Excellent series. Absolutely excellent series on BBC One, Our Girl. That has finished now. But they're all on the iPlay there. Alan, whatever the degrees is, you double it and add 28. So 78 Fahrenheit is 25.5 degrees. Oh, that's my brother-in-law, Martin. 78 Fahrenheit, so it's 25 degrees, yes. So it was 78, it was 25 degrees in the bedroom. And then I opened the bedroom door thinking that it wasn't working and was just hit with this blast of heat. My God. That's not the worst. We're getting the worst over the next 2 days. I believe the worst place in the country going to be is London on Friday. I've heard stories of 36, 37, 38 degrees in London on Friday. Now, I'm working there on Friday night. But I would assume I'll miss the worst of it by a couple of hours. Although I don't suppose it will be much different because the trouble is the buildings in London hold the heat, don't they? I don't know if you've ever been to New York. But there in the summer, my God, as you try and walk past these buildings and you can feel the heat reflecting out of the concrete and the because it's got all these marble structures like the Empire State Building and places like that. You can feel the heat coming off them. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Thank you, Alan. John says, I've got an Oral-B Sonic toothbrush. Cost 80 quid and that was half price. 80 quid for a toothbrush? I've seen toothbrushes in Argos for like 200 quid. I want to know who spends £200 on a toothbrush. You've got to be off your head to spend that, man. 200 quid on a toothbrush. 80 quid is a bargain, isn't it? Good morning to Kim Witt. Morning, Kim. John says, I can't decide, should I go to the gym in this heat or not? You might pass out. Well, they must have air conditioning in that gym, John. Jim John. Jim John. I know the sports centre where I go to at the in Bracknell. You go through the gym there, and it's always really cold in there. Yeah, as I walk through there to go to the swimming pool. I don't do gym; that bores me. Angela's been playing golf. She came 29th out of 110. I suppose that's quite good, isn't it? Well done. I've never really done golf. I've thought about playing golf before. I don't know if I could stand there. I'd be bored within 5 minutes. Say hello to Kim Reynolds and say that I believe you were going to punch a lady golfer out with a golf club. Is that right, Kim? No fighting, girls. I know what you Aussie girls are like. Terrible they are. They fight in the street. Outside Woolworths in Sydney, I've seen it with my own eyes as the crocodiles walk up and down the street. Oh, you don't want to go to Sydney? Frightening place, dear. Very dangerous. Massive spiders and crocodiles walking up and down the streets. They are. There we are. John says it's going to be 36 on Friday. The hottest July day ever. It's just too much. Just too much. Ray, who do you think is a personality tracing the family tree? Never seen that. Not seen that. Jerry says in my flat it's 80 Fahrenheit already. Ah, yes. That was what I'm going to tell you. While I was emptying the bin yesterday, there's like in the yard there's about 3 caravans they've clearly been put there because no one wants them anymore. They're very old, and there were 2 blokes in one of them and they were decorating. So I emptied my bin and I walked over I said, all right, boys, you bought this one or something? He said, yeah, we bought this dirt cheap, like £1,000 or something like that. And they were doing it up inside and the wallpaper. And he's run out of wallpaper. And he said, do you like the... I said, that's nice wallpaper. He said, it only cost £1 a roll. He said, the trouble is we've run out. And to get another roll is going to cost us 15 quid. I don't think they liked spending money. Anyway, I was saying, oh, you've done well. He said, yeah, we've done the fireplace and all that. I said, is this something you do? He said, well, I'm an ex-builder by trade. He said, but I had to give up. Due to ill health. Sorry, I've just noticed a text there. Good morning, Maureen, who's watching. She sent a text in from London there. I got your text, Maureen. Good morning to you. We had a lovely time at the karaoke Monday night. It was fantastic at Central Station. Anyway, so these two blokes I'm talking about, I said, yeah, I've just moved on there. He said, oh, what did you pay? So I told him £8,000. He said, oh, you don't want to pay that for a caravan. But that's, you know, I don't know. I'm a stupid southerner. They live differently up there. No one pays full price for anything. My nephew managed to get me a bike for 28 quid. 28 quid? I'm ready to go down Alfred's with the credit card, ain't I? 28 quid. And I tried it out yesterday. Got a lovely rally black bike. It's fantastic. And it's obviously been well maintained because the gears change easily and it's very smooth. Wonderful black bike I've got for 28 quid that my nephew managed to get me, Gary. Fantastic. I tried it out yesterday. It's great. I was telling him, so it's got this air conditioning thing. I said, and it's working. I didn't think it was working until I opened the bedroom door and I felt the hot air outside the room. And I said, I'm not quite sure what to do. He said, well, leave it on. He said, in the morning when you get up, turn it on and leave it on the whole day. I said, well, how much electricity that's going to use? He said, well, how long are you here for? And I thought about it. Well, 3 days a week, you know, and how many times are you going to use it in a year? Air conditioning unit, maximum of 4 weeks in a year. So actually, yes, in fact, when I finish the show, I'm probably going to go in the room there and turn it on and just leave it on all day and see if that makes a difference and that cools it down a little bit more. But it's certainly working. You know, it's just excessive, isn't it, moment? It really is excessive at the moment. John says, yes, indeed, the gym is air-conditioned. It's getting there and back. That's the worry. Oh, well, I don't know. Have you got an air-conditioned car, John? Don't be taking the company. People make me laugh. They make me laugh. They live down the road and they get the car to go to the gym or the swimming pool. What's all that about, lads? Eh? Why would you get the car to go to the swimming pool? Oh, hang on. I've lost your messages now. Walk, dear. Walk. That's the way to do it. There's a swimming pool near here. I think my nearest one is in Horncastle, and I want to try that one out. I've got an open air swimming pool near my sister's at Woodall Spa, but I don't think I would like to be out in the sun, if you see what I mean, in a small skimpy bikini, which I may purchase one of. I said yesterday, how on earth they charge 50 quid for those tiny pieces of material that the bikinis are made out of? I do not know. how on earth they got the audacity to charge that? Back to my nephew's house. So we watched a programme on drugs, and about at 11:45, this massive, we thought it was a hornet. We thought it was a hornet, flew in because they left the living room doors open. I mean, what can you do? It's so hot. They've got the doors open. This massive thing flew in. And my nephew's wife, Stacey, she thought it was a hornet. But I've had a hornet in my house and they move differently. Wasps are all over, like that. A hornet, the one that came in my house, it flew in. It was like a hovercraft. Honestly, it was like a hovercraft or a helicopter. It moved slowly. It came in. I'll never forget this. It came in my back door, and I had the front door open at the time, and it went zzz, like that, like it was observing, like an alien, like it was watching, waiting, and then it flew out the back window. But it went at a slow speed, like nothing was going to bother it. No one would dare attack it. Apparently, if you hurt a hornet, they send off some sort of microwaves or smells, so that tells the other hornets that they've just been attacked. Did you know that? And the others then come and attack you, dear. Awful. Ghastly people. Like the similar thing happens to the gangs in London. You attack one of them and they're straight on the mobile phone. Ow, someone's just hurt me. Please come and get me. And they turn up with guns, knives and bags of acid. Don't happen here, dear. The most exciting event of the week here so far has been to see Farmer Giles down the road start cutting something. I'm sitting in front of a field of barley, which does look like it needs to be cut. And my neighbour apparently was telling my nephew that when they start cutting it, you don't get a warning, it just happens. Whatever you do, close all your doors and windows because it all fills with dust in here. That's it. Anyway, so it ended up being a giant wasp, and it came in, and it started flying. It was frightening. My nephew was scared. My nephew's wife was scared. I left the house. I left. I was straight out that door, mate, and in my car. This wasp is flying around here, and then it's dropped down behind the television set, waiting. But they had it under control. They got this. I think they threw a pillow at it, or my nephew got it with the slipper. Bang, dead. It was a great big fat wasp. I was out of that house. I couldn't wait to get out here. But all is well. All is well in my nephew's house. Okay, got back here, washed up after dinner and went to bed. And I got up this morning, around about 8 o'clock this morning, which is, I like getting up about 8. I woke up at 7, had a wee, went back to bed, woke up again at 8. So that's nice. It is now starting to get quite hot in here, I have to tell you. This room, this little mini studio thing, I have to tell you, is probably the hottest room in the house. The sun is directly in front of me and it hits the roof. This is easily the hottest room in the house. It really is. And it's starting to get hot now. What is the time now? 25 past 10. So it remains to be seen how hot we get today. All right. Ray says you could have the Thames logo portrait behind you, but I suppose an Anglia picture would be better. I think you said you're going to have a country backdrop. Yes, that's right, Ray. I want to measure behind me. I've got a picture. I've taken some pictures, and me and my nephew selected one last night from the pictures, Gary, from the pictures that I've taken. So I know the picture I want. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's really nice. It's a really nice picture that I've taken, and I want to put that behind me, and I want to cover the whole wall with that. But I want to get the right size because having such a thing printed, it's not hugely expensive, but it is expensive, and you don't want to pay for something that's too big that you can even use. So I want to measure sort of where the camera stops, which is there, plus a little bit further that way, and the same. Let's see that. So that stops there. You only want to get a picture that goes up to there. You don't want to get one right over there because it's pointless. And the same with the top and bottom. So I want to measure. I'll have the camera on. We'll get a tape measure and measure behind me what I can see, and then go probably another 6 inches either side, maybe a foot either side, and get it slightly larger so that you get the whole thing in, and that's the whole idea of that. All right, Ray. Alan says, I've been stung on the eyeball by a bee. Really? 3 years ago. That was really painful. I spent 3 hours in Moorfields Eye Hospital. They were brilliant. Yeah, they are, Alan. Mind you, all hospital people are brilliant, aren't they? I know they work very, very hard. Do you mean on the eyeball or eyelid? Now, with a bee, that leaves a little thing in there, doesn't it? Wasps don't leave something in there. It's just like I don't know what it is. My bite has got better now, actually. I got a bite on the back of my leg. It was itching like mad yesterday. It was awful, but I never scratched it. Let's have a look there. John says, I don't drive, I walk everywhere. Yes. Well, I should hope so as well. I should hope so. On the eyeball, wasn't there a little black thing that they had to pull out? Because if a bee stings you, it dies afterwards. Because it leaves part of its body there, doesn't it? I think I've left my parts of my body all over the place, to be honest. Oh, good morning to Jack Wicks. Thanks ever so much for your message. Welcome to the show, Jack. Okay, let's do a couple of stories this morning, gang. Got a couple of news stories for you here. And I don't know if it's Mars or whatever, actually. But I noticed that in the sky, there's a very bright yellow star at the moment. Has anyone noticed that? It's sort of, if the moon's, because it looks like it's going to be full moon. In fact, it is going to be a full moon on Friday. But there's a very bright yellow star in the sky at the moment. And I don't know what that is. Is it Mars? Because we got a story in the Daily Mail this morning. It says, a blood moon is coming, accompanied by Mars, the god of war. Have you heard the Mars tune by Holst? Great piece of music. Classical, Holst, Holst. Look it up. Look up Holst and Mars, okay? It says it will be shining more fiercely than it has done for years. The longest total lunar eclipse of the 21st century is expected to occur on Friday, July the 27th. So that's this Friday coming. Can you believe we're at the end of July? We're at the end of July. I can't believe it. What a great few weeks I've had, I have to tell you. Coming up here has just changed my life. It really has. It's I used to struggle with nights off, and I'm not struggling now. Not struggling. Being close to the family. My niece is beautiful. Don't tell her I told you this, for Christ's sake, because she'll be all over it. My niece is beautiful. She really is. And the two boys, and all three of them are doing stuff with their lives. You know, I've told you the stories so many times. My niece has got hairdressers. One of my nephews got his own car repair business. My other nephew buys and sells stuff. Like lawnmowers, and he fixes them and sells them on for a profit. They're all doing so well. And then, of course, there's the great nieces and great nephews. I fear when I start saying names, boys and girls, I tell you. But it's, of course, you know, in age order, there's Evie, there's George, there's Emily, there's Harry, there's Olivia, and there's baby James. 6 of them. I hope that's got in the right order. Anyway, back to the story. It says, as it lines up with the Earth, that's the moon, and the sun, the rising full moon will darken and change from silver to rusty or, it says dreadful blood red. I don't know why it's dreadful. Dreadful blood red. The phenomenon struck terror into our ancestors. Terror, dear, terror into our ancestors, and is still seen as a portent of doom in some parts of the world today. It says fiery Mars will add to the spectacle as it appears directly below the blood moon, close to its maximum brightness. So that's going to happen on Friday. Now, I think I saw somewhere it was going to happen around about 8:30 at night. In London, is it? Here we are. 10 to 9 in London. Oh, that's jumped forward. There it is. 10 to 9. Where's it gone now? 10 to 9 BST in London, and a quarter to 10 in Glasgow. So if you're in the middle of somewhere, you're sort of between here. Sort of here in Lincolnshire, I would imagine around about 9:15, 9:30 or something like that. But you'll get a full moon. And actually, I don't know if my nephew or anyone's still watching. But if you would, if I won't be here Friday night, I would come to my caravan on Friday night, sit on the veranda and watch it. I bet that will be a real spectacle, because I can see from here fields and I can see the horizon from here. It's just completely open. That'd be a wonderful thing to see. I mean, you'll see it in London, but nowhere near as well as you would do if you were in the countryside, you see. All right. Alan says, on the subject of his eyeball, they put some dye on the eyeball and the pain went down straight away. Ah, right, okay. Good God. Mars was used for the original Quatermass BBC series in the 1950s as the theme music. Yeah, I remember Quatermass. Well, I never saw it. I saw little bits and pieces and clips and things like that. All righty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Then it's our 10, so I expect my sister will be calling in a minute. You might have heard the phone just going there. That was either her or one of my nephews or my niece. Happy birthday this morning to... Were we here yesterday? No, we weren't. So I'll do yesterday's birthdays as well today, okay? If I can just bring those up. One moment, please, while we try and connect you. Happy birthday on this Wednesday, the 25th of July, to James Landon. Good morning, James. Happy birthday to you. Bethany Edge's birthday today. Good morning, Bethany. Happy birthday to you. Mark Clare. Good morning, Mark. 43 years old today. One of our Black Cap customers. Good morning, Mark. Happy birthday. Robert Highland today is 34 years old. Big Razor Sis is 48 years old today. Mark Tidy is 49 years old today. Happy birthday, Mark. Keely Marie, one of the nicest karaoke singers. Keely Marie, she used to sing at Belushi's in Hammersmith some years ago now. Happy birthday to you. And Rodrigo Eduardo, who was also one of the DJs at Belushi's in Hammersmith, where I DJ'd and did the karaoke. He today is 37 years old today. Long time no see, Rodrigo. So happy birthday to you. And Dave Speller is 37 years old today on this Wednesday. I'll do yesterday's birthdays as well, as we weren't here yesterday. I like to do the whole happy birthday thing. I think it's nice, you know, just to give some people like a little bit of special. It's like when people have birthdays and they come to Central Station. I always like to try and make them feel a little bit special, because we all like to feel a little bit special now and again. I've been special for years and years. I've been special. Yesterday's birthday, 45 years old, to Scott Longman for Tuesday the 24th of July. Happy birthday, Scott. Judy London, who often sends us a little message. Hello, Judy. Hope you had a nice birthday yesterday. Paige Turner is 45 years old yesterday. Lee Burns, 34 years old yesterday. Nicky Price's birthday yesterday, as is Robert Griffiths, 48 years old today. Yesterday. And Wes Charles. Hello, Wes. Again, one of the people that used to come to Hammersmith Belushi's. Happy birthday to you as well. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. There's our birthdays for yesterday. All right. Roy wants to know, what's the hold up with England leaving the EU? I've no idea, Roy. I wish someone would get on it though. We need to get this sorted over at last. Paul says that chap sounds like the Harry Enfield character. Oh, you don't want to do it like that? Certainly not. Good morning to Dale. Morning to Dale, who's watching on the Periscope this morning as well. All right, gang, that's it today. Thanks ever so much for joining us on this Wednesday. Have a lovely day. It's going to be very, very hot. I'm going to now turn on my air conditioning and find out who was just trying to ring me. And thanks for watching and listening. See you again, hopefully, tomorrow morning. Bye-bye now.